Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Living Life at LifeView. I am your host, Dr. Veronica Garcia, and today we are joined by an awesome student with a beautiful background and interesting story, Mr. Ramy Katit. Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm very good. Thank you for inviting me.
You're very welcome. I'm so excited to have you. So talk to me a little bit about your journey at the university. What program are you on? What quarter you're in, etc.?
So I'm in the business administration program, and I'm actually a senior.
Nice.
So I'm in my last quarter right now at Life University.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's awesome. And how, we hear an accent. Where's this accent from?
I'm originally from Germany.
You're from
Germany?
Germany.
I guess the accent is German in that case.
Hey, my accent is from Puerto Rico. I get it. It's all right.
It's a very familiar accent here on campus.
Yes, right? So talk to me about that transition, being an international student coming to Life University. Talk to me a little bit about that transition, the process of applying, etc.
Yeah, there's certainly a lot of differences. Coming from Germany, I mean, the culture in Germany is different than here in America. But being a student athlete made that transition pretty smooth for me.
Nice. Because
I get thrown into an environment of so many competitive people, and I get into a team right away when I get here. A new country, I don't know anyone, but I'm right away in an environment with 30 teammates around me. Mm-hmm. So it's very easy to make friends and to kind of build a community. Mm-hmm. That was made everything so much easier if you have like people around you who guide you, who are like-minded. That is great. And then also just being around campus and being an active student, mm-hmm. I think that made it very easy, because being a student athlete, you are so busy with school and also with sport. And then getting out and talking to people makes it much more exciting. And I'm also part of the MSA, the Muslim Student Association here on campus. And amazing. That is great in terms of building a community. Mm-hmm. So that made everything so much easier for me. So
it sounds like I don't want to put words into your mouth, but it sounds like you're telling me that you almost felt welcome coming in.
Yes, definitely. Because as I said, I mean, being a student athlete, you get into a team right away. And right. You're around other athletes from other sports as well. And all of that makes you feel very welcome, because they are very kind and they welcome you, and that helps me to be the person I want to be here on campus.
That's awesome. And what sport?
Soccer.
Soccer. How awesome. How lovely. And did you come in when you transferred? Did you come straight from Germany?
No, I actually didn't. So I came from Germany to Nebraska. Mm-hmm. I studied for 2 years outside of Omaha, mm-hmm. and then I transferred from there to Life University.
Okay.
So I've been here 2 years.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And do you stay on campus?
Yes.
How has been that experience living on campus?
Amazing, actually. I mean, it has a lot of ups and downs, yes, for sure. But in my old school, I actually lived off campus. Mm-hmm. And at that time, I always wished I wish I lived on campus, because it always seemed so nice. Mm-hmm. It seemed like in the movies. So now when I came here and I had that opportunity to live on campus, I see a lot of upsides, which maybe some other people don't see. Like, I mean, living in a building with so many students, I live in the same building as my closest friends. So mm-hmm. I think that will never happen again in my life. So
you could make it happen. I'm just saying.
I could, but I don't know how realistic that is. But yeah, that has been amazing. And there's a lot of pros, but then obviously there's some difficulties if you want to sleep at night, but it's loud outside, mm-hmm. which is, I mean, part of it. But as I said, I just feel sometimes like I'm in a movie. So
that's awesome. I mean, it is your own movie. You're writing your own story. Right. So that's awesome. Right. And talk to me a little bit about, those challenges that as athletes we have to overcome, mm-hmm. because we're in season, and then we have to kind of juggle all the things, because academics can never fall as an athlete, right? So talk to me a little bit about how those challenges came into place, and what were some of those resources, whether in or outside of the university, that you received?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. So sports obviously is the passion. That's something you're so passionate about. And if we could, we would spend 100% of our time for it. Mm-hmm. But my coach always had a saying, as a student athlete, student comes before athlete. Mm-hmm. So for us, it's always very important to get that academic part right. And for me personally, I always put a lot of value on the academics as well. Mm-hmm. I try to get the best grades I can, and while also putting a lot of time in my sports. I think managing both of that is great for me, because I need that later on in my life. Mm-hmm. And doing it right now while I'm in college is ideal. Mm-hmm. I think I did manage it pretty well. From what I could say, it was difficult at some points, especially being in season when we're traveling, doing homework while being in the hotel, when you would rather just hang out with your teammates.
Yeah, chill.
But it gives you the opportunities to learn how to sacrifice and what to sacrifice, setting priorities in life. And I think that has been very helpful for me.
That's awesome. And you are at the end of that business administration program. What are some of those highlights that you could share from your program?
Wow, I really like the program actually, because I feel like the business administration program is so much broader than most people think. It's so much more than just microeconomics, macroeconomics, finance, even though they add so much value to my life, these classes, because I feel like everyone should have a basic understanding of how the economy works and how money works. It doesn't matter which profession you are in. But it takes so much more, like this program gets so much more out of me in terms of psychology. If I want to be a good salesman, I need to learn psychology. Even history and politics, if I want to see, if I want to invest money and I want to see, okay, how does the economy work? Looking at the history and how the politics works, that makes it also so much, that it's so helpful if you want to make a well decision.
Right, absolutely.
So that's something that I really like about it. And the way this program challenges me is also pretty cool, because I like to be pretty mindful and aware of the businesses I interact with. So if I interact with a business, being able to challenge myself and being like, okay, so how does this business work? Why did it come into existence? And how does it make money? And being a business administration student challenges me in exactly that point. Like we get the case studies to exactly ask these questions, and I think that's pretty cool.
That's awesome. And as an entrepreneur, I hear that must definitely relate a lot into how you're putting things into practice. Do you feel like the university has provided you with a network of mentors and people that you can kind of just, hey, I have this question or this idea, or bounce things out as an entrepreneur?
Absolutely. I had a couple of classes where I would say like, all right, they probably didn't add that much value to my life. But then I had a handful of classes where I would say, wow, they actually, I benefited a lot from them. I had a class called Entrepreneurship and Small Business Strategy with Ms. Powell, where I really basically rewrote my own business, which I started before that class already. But it gave me a new perspective to what I want to do. And I was able to add so much more value to my service. And it actually paid off already. And implementing that right away into my business, it was a great change. I had a class, Introduction to Life Coaching with Dr. Amos, which also showed me a completely new side of my business. These classes have been so helpful, and these professors that I mentioned and some others as well, they gave me the opportunity to always go talk to them and ask them questions. And since I'm currently having a business and running a business, that really, I think that helps me to get even more out of the education as much as some other students might. Right. Because I can ask these questions out of my real life experience, and I can actively look for a professor and be like, hey, how does this exactly work? How can I apply that to my business? Right. And that applies to all the classes that I have on campus. Everything that I learn, I can apply right away. And that makes it so much more effective to learn, I think. That's exciting. It definitely makes a huge difference when you have people accessible, people that you respect and that you learn from. Yes. It's really beautiful. So you are at the end of your student career. What's next? I definitely want to keep growing my business. That's one of the focuses I want to put myself on. Once I graduate, I will most likely go back to Germany, and because also my business is located in Germany, so being local to my business, I would say, and being back home, I think I'm looking forward to it in some degrees. While I'm also sad that another chapter ends. Yeah, had a great time here in America, definitely, and I'm gonna miss it. But I'm also excited what comes next. And besides of that, I also want to keep focusing on my soccer career and see how that can take me, where that can take me. That's awesome. I'm really excited for you. Well, thank you so much for spending a few minutes with us. Thank you so much for sharing your information and for just becoming available as an international student and everything that you represent and everything that you have paved your own way here. It's been my pleasure. Thank you so much. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Good luck traveling back. After we're done, I'm going to need some tips because I'm going to Germany in
a few 6 weeks. So I'm excited.
Sounds good.
Alrighty. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Thank you guys for joining us one more time. And we hope to see you on the next episode of Living Life, I Life You. Bye.